I've done over $24 million in my business career, turned 14 people into millionaires, and helped 360 plus coaches make over 10K a month. So even though I'm only 5'6", I do know a fuck ton about making money. And these are 17 things millionaires never do. The first thing that millionaires never do is they don't focus on multiple businesses, they hyper-focus on one. The reason they do this is simple, because the more spread out your focus is, the less you get done. Multitasking is a myth, because realistically, when you try to multitask, you do a half-assed job in every individual thing. So hyper-focusing on one helps you progress that much faster. The second thing millionaires never do is they don't leave tasks to the last minute. They live and die by their calendar. From the time I wake up at 3 a.m. till 7 p.m. at night, everything is 100% on my calendar and calculated to the minute. Whether it's a date night, movies, gym, work, meetings, or spending time with my kid, everything is in the calendar. The reason I do this is to eliminate decision fatigue. When you attack your day willy-nilly with no structure, you get overwhelmed very quickly because guess what? There's so many things you could be doing. So by eliminating the decision fatigue and putting it all in your calendar, you calculate and move faster. The third thing millionaires never do is they don't focus on $10 tasks. They only focus on needle movers. A $10 task is like cleaning the house, washing your car, doing your laundry, going to the grocery shop. Those things do nothing to progress you forward in life. What you should be focusing on is your content creation, your lead gen, your sales calls, anything that is going to progress you forward mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially. The fourth thing millionaires never do is say yes to everything. They say no a lot more than they say yes. The entire topic of this video is what millionaires don't do, not what they do, all right? If you want to become successful, you need to say no more because it's not about doing more, it's about doing less. The goal is to go deep instead of wide. You want your skill set to be hyper-focused. So by saying no to a bunch of different things, you can focus in on one thing that's going to get you to the goal. The fifth thing millionaires never do is prioritize relatives or old friends. Instead, they prioritize their goals. Now pause, I just took my entire family and grandmother to Portugal for 6 weeks. So I'm not going to be that person that says, fuck your family, never hang out with them. But what I will say is you gotta limit the time you're spending with them to focus on you. If you don't wanna go back home for the holidays this year, that's okay. You need to learn how to prioritize you more. And with this being said, old friends and family are going to criticize you and get a little annoyed when you start doing this. So be prepared. Don't get hostile back, just hold the line. The sixth thing millionaires never do is chase perfection. They do take action even when circumstances aren't perfect. While you are chasing perfection, other people in the world are seeing crazy success because they're just jumping out of the plane and building the parachute on the way down. Stop trying to be perfect because it is an illusion. Just fail, learn, grow, and keep pushing forward. The seventh thing millionaires never do is ignore their money. They pay very close attention to what goes in and out of their bank account. A great habit to adopt would be checking your bank account after you're done your morning routine directly in the morning. This is important because it shows you the holes in the boat, or lack thereof. If you don't check your bank account, you have no idea what is going on in there. So by understanding the cash flow that is in the account itself, it will balance out your mind and help you be prepared for success. The eighth thing millionaires never do is shy away from painful truths. They seek out uncomfortable truths and face them head on. Listen, let's get real. If people are calling you an asshole, you probably are. If people are calling you fat, you might be fat. If they say you're stupid, you might be stupid. Instead of getting angry at that and losing your mind, getting all defensive, why don't you just face that in the mirror and do something about it? Utilize that constructive criticism to level up. Just because something is true now doesn't mean it has to be true forever. Don't pit your identity in the labels other people call you. The ninth thing millionaires never do is stop learning. They act like they're idiots and need to know more. They're always paying for courses, mentors, or books they can get their hands on. The 10th thing millionaires never do is neglect networking opportunities. One of the cheesiest, most overutilized statements in business is your network is your net worth.
Your network is your net worth.
Your net worth is all about your network.
But the reason why it's cheesy and overused is because it's so true. Money comes from relationships, and the more hands you shake, the more potential relationships you can make. The 11th thing millionaires never do is sleep in. Time is the enemy of every entrepreneur. So why would you not take more time by waking up earlier, waking up before the sun, and attacking your goals, regardless of what they are, before the world wakes up? The most common argument to not waking up early is saying that you could just work later. But when real life slaps you in the face, and you want to have relationships, and build friendships, and spread your wings, travel the world, or do whatever else you want to do with your life, you're going to realize that time is ever fleeting and you need to take advantage of all of it. And the reality is, nighttime hours are not optimal for work. working. You're gonna get way more done in the morning. Which leads me to the 12th thing millionaires never do, which is going to bed late. It's way easier to control your bedtime than it is to control your wake up time. So before you set an alarm to get up in the morning, set an alarm to go to bed at night. Your sleep matters. Are you honestly gonna wake up at 5 if you went to bed at midnight? Probably not. And this is why a lot of you are struggling. So set a nighttime routine and go to bed. The 13th thing that millionaires never do is ignore their health. Your health matters because of energy and longevity. You want to have the energy to be able to play with your family or at least be able to walk around without being gassed. And you don't want to just die early because you chose to neglect your health by putting crap in your body and never moving it. Let's use Sylvester Stallone as an example. He is 78 years old and he looks like a unit. Whereas most people at 78 look like bags of milk being pushed around the airport in a wheelchair. The 14th thing that millionaires never do is ignore character. They look for red and green flags in everybody and proceed accordingly. If you get a business opportunity, but the person is someone you wouldn't do business with due to their character, don't do it. If you get invited to a party, but there's people there that don't align with your character, don't go. Use the character guideline to make all of your decisions, and it will help you progress a lot more than anything else. I hire for character first, and then I teach skills. The 15th thing millionaires never do is try to be lone wolves. Listen, nobody is self-made in this world. And if you try to be a lone wolf, whether it's personally or financially, you're gonna crash and burn at some point. There's a massive trend going around that it's cool to be a Sigma or a lone wolf, but in reality, you should be avoiding that at all costs. Let's face it, life is hard. No matter what goal you are chasing, you are going to get hit in the face by a 2x4 at some point. And when you try to do it alone, it can get daunting. But when you have people around you that are either of high character or high value, even if you don't look to them for help, being around them will motivate you more. So actively seek to be a better person so you are attractive to high value individuals. The 16th thing millionaires never do is avoid breaks. At some point, you're gonna have to slow down and smell the roses, because why would you even create this life if not to enjoy it? Go traveling, go on a vacation, take time with your family and friends on the weekends. I get it, you gotta grind and we all wanna become more successful. It's kind of inevitable when you wanna be the ultra successful person in your circle. But avoiding the rose bush is only gonna hurt you in the future. The 17th thing millionaires never do is make decisions based on emotions. Rookies react where pros respond. I wake up at 3 a.m. and do a morning routine, so when I am faced with my family, my friends, my kid, my wife, my business, my clients, and different decisions I have to make in those roles, I'm not reactive, I'm responsive. I worked on myself to put my mind in a good state so I can be the business owner, husband, father, and entrepreneur I need to be. Reacting from an emotional state often comes from a place of lack. So make sure you meet all of your needs so you can respond from a place of abundance. These are the 17 things millionaires never do. And if you want to learn about the 50 cheat codes that got me to where I am today, click this video.